let's get started, okay? We're gonna roll right into part one, okay? You need to understand the opportunity, okay? You need to understand what's facing you right now. And I am going to hit this over and over and over again today so that you truly understand, really, why should you care about this at all, okay? And once we go through this, it's going to just blow your mind. It's going to blow your absolute mind about it if you haven't done any acquisitions before or you don't understand the significance of this. This will absolutely blow your mind. Okay, let me give you just some numbers, okay? Some statistics that I pulled for some pretty amazing surveys that are taken nationally, okay? This is a national survey, okay? 49% of all small business owners across the United States of America plan to exit their business in the next 5 years. Okay, that survey was actually taken about a year ago. So we're already 1 year into this period. 49%. That is insane about how many businesses are just going to be dumped. And we're not talking, most of the people will not sell them. They don't know how. They're just going to just liquidate them and dissolve them. What if you were there to say, you know what, let me take this off your hands. I will take this off your hands, and I will take great care of your people, right? That kind of thing, okay? Among the baby boomers, that's really a major reason why now is the time. Now is the time from the baby boomer business owner generation. 57% of all baby boomer business owners will basically wrap up and close down shop and likely just dissolve their company for nothing. 57%. 57%. That is a really good percentage. I love that percentage, okay? Another one, this is amazing. 37% plan to sell within 12 months. 12 months. And guess what? Guys, that survey was prepared, again, national survey. We're not talking Temecula, California. We were talking national survey, and that was done this summer. So we're already several months into that, all right? Let me give you some math. In case you're like, I'm still not convinced, David, about the opportunity that's knocking right now on your doorstep, right now, just waiting for you to take advantage of it. In the next 10 years, all these numbers amounts to $14 trillion of opportunity. I would like a piece of that. I don't know about you guys, but I would like a piece of that. And anybody here not want a piece of that? $14 trillion, okay? I mean, it just boggles the mind. If you do all the math here and you look at the economies of scale of what's sitting there, most of which will be sold via garage sale, majority of the baby boomer business owners, they're basically, their past, their business will get inherited and the kids are going to shut it down for nothing, right? They don't want to deal with it. What if you were there to come in and double your net worth via these kinds of strategies, okay? Really significant stuff. I can give you that after today. I can pull that for you. Okay.
See if it's broken down by industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, absolutely. I can definitely do it. Okay, let's keep going, okay? So, now we're going to hit why buy a business, okay? So hopefully I've at least intrigued you, okay, if not more, as to the opportunity that you're faced with, or that it's not that you're faced with, it's that you're presented with right now, okay? This is a blessing. This is just like, it's just like someone knocking at the door and saying, hey, do you want to double your company? You want to quadruple your personal income, right? It's just, you know. But let's talk about it. Why consider this, okay? All right, we're going to go a little bit deeper, really make you guys into believers, all right? All right, we're going to talk about acquisitions versus organic growth, all right? Let's compare them. Organic. Now, nothing that I'm saying now is to be taken in a way that says do not grow your business organically, obviously, right? I mean, obviously, every single person in this room will do some kind of organic growth. But I will tell you this, I have met with a fair amount and have worked with a fair amount of entrepreneurs. This is all they do is acquisitions. It's just like, they're almost like flipping houses, right? They acquire a company, they grow it, they trim all the fat off of it, and then they sell it. They exit based on average about 3 to 5 years, okay? And they are making a killing. It's just another form of doing business. But if you're not familiar with it, you may not even consider it, okay? Now, and this is what we're getting through today. So that's why we're starting with basically some of the facts here, and then we're going to go into mindset work. So buckle up for that one. That one's going to be a good time, okay? So anyways, organic growth, all right? It is slower, okay? Doesn't mean it's not effective, but it is slower, okay? It is more expensive per ROI, okay? Per the ROI, right? If you are working with an outstanding marketing vendor and you're getting about 5x, maybe a little bit more. That's pretty good ROI, right, on your marketing spend. 10x would be phenomenal, right? But those are good ROIs, right? However, the ROI that you get on an acquisition when done correctly vastly outweighs that, and it's immediate, okay? And it's also uncertain. Again, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here about working with quality marketing vendors, okay? So when you go work with a marketing vendor, okay, and they are gonna help you grow organically. That's what they do, right? Any good Google guy, video, social media, whoever it is, right? First and foremost, you need to ask them what's gonna be my return on investment in terms of dollars, right? Don't fall for the crap of impressions. I'll give you more impressions. Well, how about this? Why don't I pay you with impressions? Okay? I want money in the bank, right? And I'm going to hold you accountable to that. I've literally had that conversation with a few marketing vendors, and they literally have refused to work with me because they know I'm going to hold them accountable. Okay? Right? But anyways, it's very uncertain what you're exactly going to get from your marketing spend, right? Versus acquisitions, you are going to have immediate revenue, okay, from the business that you acquire. You're going to have immediate clients, staff, systems, assets. I don't know whatever the kind of business that you're looking at. There's obviously car washes, service-based, retail, real estate, management companies, or there's just, obviously any kind of business can be bought, right? So, but you're getting all this on day one. Okay? Many of the advisors, the entrepreneurs that I work with that have acquisitions as a part of their regular thing, their regular strategy, they're bolting on like services onto their existing business. It's faster, and it adds a lot of synergy to the business on day one, right? Because you're adding in a complementary service, basically. Or a lot of entrepreneurs are bringing in basically additional books of business into their territories, et cetera. Territories, books of business, different, things like that, right? Those are a lot easier to execute because you're basically just bolting it on what you already do. But what you should also consider is adding in something completely different, right? Like I mentioned just a second ago, car washes, right? Could be a very hands-off, lucrative business. You buy it, you get a good management team, and you just kind of let that puppy run as long as the equipment is being maintained, right? So, I'm just giving you an example of a type of business that can be extremely profitable for you, but it doesn't have to be like, I only do car washes, so I only buy car washes, right? Look, let's think outside the box today, okay? Acquisitions allow for, did I say requires? Did I say as always? No, I did not. It allows for significantly reduced or zero out-of-pocket cash depending on how you structure the deal, okay? And we're gonna talk about that more today, okay? And then when you bring on an acquisition, your net worth, along with the value of your company, depending on how you set it up, will substantially increase, okay? You're bringing in, I'm gonna show you some examples, but your value, your net worth, your personal income, if you're bolting it onto existing business, your gross revenues, your profit will all substantially increase upon the close of the business, right? Obviously, I know that there needs to be transitions and all those kinds of things. I'm gonna teach you how to do that, right? But, that's a big component of it, but conceptually speaking, this is the result that you're going to get on day one of closing, okay? Obviously, as the business generates revenue, okay? That kind of thing, okay? So this is the difference between these two, okay? Does it mean that you don't do organic? Absolutely not. Does it mean you need to balance this? It's like one of the things that I discussed in the Q3 event was I encouraged everyone, I taught everyone in attendance to look at your business like an asset, okay? If you look at it like an asset, like a stock, or like any other cash producing asset, you're going to look at your small business very, very differently, okay? How do most small business owners look at their business? Like a baby, right? They're like, oh, that's my baby. Where they got a diaper in it now, they got to feed it, they got to burp it, they got to, I got 4 kids. Like, my business is not a baby, okay? Right? My business better behave, right? But the concept here is if you're looking at your business like an asset, you will treat it differently. You will expect profit, right? I'm not going to hold on to a stock that sucks my money every month. Doesn't make any sense. I'll sell it and get a different one, right? That's how you should be looking at your small business. And when you look at it this way, in terms of the acquisitions that you're bringing in as another asset to bolster the value that you already have or your personal or top-line revenue, you will look at it very, very differently, okay? The strategies are very, very similar, but I encourage you, just kind of going back to what we talked about last quarter's event, to look at it like a cash flow asset, okay? All right. Let's give you an example here, just to kind of drive this home a little bit more, okay? We're going to study a Temecula contracting company, okay? So basically the purchasing entity was a roofing company, had about $2 million of gross revenue. They decided to add on a gutter installation company because it's synergetic. They can add it in very, very easily and provide more services to their existing customers. The gutter installation company was a $1 million company in terms of its gross revenue. So upon closing, okay, now the revenue has increased 50%. 50%, because now he's brought them in, okay? Let's talk about some of the other values. There's operational synergies. The staff can now assist each other. One can do very, very much like the other thing, okay? And their clients, if you're up on the roof, chances are they're going to need their gutters cleaned. And now you have maintenance and ongoing services and all these things, right? Your valuation lift has now, there's a valuation lift to the business. There's a valuation lift to the services that are being performed. Right? And there's an increase in conversion rate. How about this? Instead of having to go and find another person, how about you just hire me and my company for both? Right? That kind of thing, right? It's bundling up these services, which is extremely helpful in conversion rates and what you're doing, okay? The average transaction value will increase, the lifelong value of the customer increases. I mean, I can go on and on, right? So this is, hopefully I'm preaching to the choir at this point. You guys really kind of understand what I'm talking about. This is making sense so far, what I'm talking about? Yeah? Okay, great. All right, let's keep rolling. Okay, so this is your first exercise. I want you to get out your workbook, okay? And we're going to go through some reflection, all right? Even if you've done acquisitions many, many times, or if you so happen to be in the business of doing acquisitions, looking at you back there, right? Still do this, okay? For your own self. Even if your business is in the nature of helping people with acquisitions, or you've done this many times, or you've not done this at all, I want you to answer the questions. Question 1, how much stronger would your cash flow be, your client base be? Okay, we are on page 2. Page 2 of the workbook, okay, page 2. Under what would this mean for you, okay? So that's question 1, and then you're going to go into question 2. Let's just suppose the business you acquired, we're making an assumption here, that the business you acquired brings in another basically $250,000 of personal income. We're not talking gross. Gross revenue is a vanity metric. I think we can all agree to that. It's kind of cool to say, but if it doesn't make a difference to your bottom line and what is actually impacting your family, then honestly, who gives a shit, right? I want profit. I want what's going to go into my home and that kind of thing, okay? So that's question 2. How much would that really benefit? And then question 3, if you pull off an acquisition and instead of organic growth only, you now are leapfrogging 3 years, okay? 3 years for the power of an acquisition, how is that going to feel for you, okay? So let's target this. We're going to spend just a minute or 2 on this, give you some time to go through it, think about it, okay? This is bottom of page 2 in your workbook, all right? So let's target this. Take a minute and answer these questions now. The goal from this exercise is to start to create a little bit of leverage for yourself. Anything can be done with proper leverage, which basically just means you have a strong enough why, right? So we're going to go through a lot of things like this, really visualizing your life post-closing. What will it feel like for your kids should you bring in an additional $240,000 of personal income into your family, like in the bank, right? So these are the things that we're going to be doing. I want you to visualize it. I want you to taste that steak you have every night, should you choose to do so. I want you to feel it, experience it, and really, really drive it in, okay? So we're going to be doing a lot of things like that. So hopefully that was, this is just the starting point for us about really getting into this and really seeing that outcome, okay? Always start with the outcome that you want, and then you're going to visualize, really, why do I want it? Well, because I would like to be able to automate my business so that it operates independent of me, and then I can go to Disneyland or whatever, wherever, whenever I so choose, right? Because I want to do that, that's why. Or I hit the golf course 25 times a week, I don't know.